Morgan Gibbs-White, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here in Astro, Malaysia. Let me start by first sending all the love and support from Astro as well as the football community in Malaysia for Taiwo Awoniyi. It was really difficult to watch what he went through, and we're all praying for a speedy recovery, fingers crossed, so that we get to see him back on the pitch. Context. I mean, the word context is so powerful because about a year ago, Morgan, I remember virtually as well speaking to Nuno about a year ago. And I remember him talking about the context of Forest at that point, which was very different. You guys were trying to survive in the Premier League. But fast forward a year, the trajectory has just been absolutely ridiculous. Did you guys at any point even see this coming? The way Forest have, sort of evolved into this incredible team.
No, we not at the start of the season. Definitely not. I felt like obviously with Nuno coming in January time, it was sort of difficult for him to implement his ideas and stuff like that. So I think that pre-season that we had with him was so important because, like I said, he got to implement his own ideas, how he wanted to play properly, got to be able to spend good quality time with the players. And then obviously as the season started, we had obviously goals and stuff, but to say that we've secured Europa League with 2 games to go is obviously incredible. But obviously we were just picking points up at game after game after game, and we started to really believe in ourselves and have the confidence in ourselves that we could really achieve something this season. So yeah, there's still obviously work to do. We've still got 2 games left, so we want to finish as high as possible with as many points as possible. But yeah, we're obviously delighted, but we still want more.
Well, what would you put it down to? Because, I mean, from a quality point of view, there's very little doubt about the amount of quality that's present within the Forest squad. But we all know that sometimes in the Premier League, it's not just about the quality. Sometimes you got to have something extra. What do you think is about this Forest team that has brought it so far in the Premier League?
I think it's the bond that we have with each other, um, on and off the pitch. We're always chilling with each other, whether it be in the changing rooms, in the physio room, or outside on the grass, or whether it be outside of football. Um, we've got a real good connection at the minute with this group. The quality is there. You can see it week in, week out when we play. The quality is obviously there, but I feel like the togetherness of the group is what's really got us through it. And I think the manager's the key parts of that. I think he's the one that really wanted to install that togetherness within the group at the start of the season. And we've just fed off that and become even bigger with the togetherness.
I'm going to talk about some of the hilarious characters within the dressing room in just a minute, because Malaysia in general has been very smitten by some of the characters in the Forest team this season. But I want to touch a little bit about the minor dip. I mean, it's not exactly been smooth sailing. There have been some ups and downs. In recent times, there have been some difficulties. What do you put it down to? Is it a bit of fatigue? Is it some a minor dip in form? What would you put it down to?
I think it's maybe having that experience at the top of the table. None of us have been not many of us have been in this situation before, so dealing with different sorts of pressure, not knowing how to handle certain situations, whether it be fatigue, tiredness. There's so many things that could play a part in it, but I think we've still done incredibly well in how we've played, how we've handled situations. And I'm really proud of the team of how we've done it. But like I said, there's still 2 games to go, so anything can happen in these next 2 games.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. Let's talk a little bit about you, Morgan. In that same interview with Nuno last year, I remember asking him about you because obviously he's worked with you at another club before. And I remember him saying that over the last, working with you at Forest, he's not just seen you grow as a player, but he has seen you evolve into this leader on the pitch. Could you talk to us about just how much you've grown since making the move to Forest?
Yeah, obviously it was a big step for me to move away from my boyhood club. Um, so I think taking that step away from that shows that you have to have a bit about you to be able to take that step. And obviously coming here, playing week in, week out was the main thing. And then, you just mature as a man as you grow older. You just learn to become a leader on the pitch. And I sort of fit into that role quite nicely. So yeah, I've definitely developed in that aspect of my game, and I thrive off it, if you'd say.
Malaysia in general, Morgan, I mean, everybody recognizes you and the sort of impact you've had in the Premier League in recent years. Especially in the context of this season, people know Chris Wood, people are aware of Ilanga, people know the impact of Hudson-Odoi up front. But I think we've got to talk a little bit about the boys at the back. I mean, Murillo and Milinkovic have been astonishingly good this season. One of
Yeah.
the reasons why Forest have probably one of the better defensive records in the league is down to those boys at the back. Could you talk to me about just how impactful they've been this season?
Yeah, they've been incredible, so good. Because I mean, the first two seasons when we were in the Premier League, it's like we would score one or two goals and we think we'd be okay, but we'd then concede two or three goals. So I think that's where we were lacking in that defensive sort of role, and then having the manager come in and having him being able to bring in who he wants to defend for him and stuff like that has definitely helped us. And I think I think all of the group have defended incredible this season. I think it defended starts from the top and then goes the way down, but the two boys at the back have been, incredible. Saved us in so many games, whether it be 1v1s or blocking shots off the line. They've been incredible and they've helped us massively because they're doing their job back there to give us the freedom to then go and play. So it helps us out massively.
Yeah, absolutely immense. I mean, it's been a privilege watching their defensive performances at the back. But I'll tell you what else has been a privilege. Watching the antics, not just the performances, because he's an incredible player, but it's also the character that has been on display on multiple interviews, so many podcast sessions throughout the course of the season. Ola Aina. I mean, he's starting to build a real reputation. I'm going to be real here, Morgan. He's starting to build a real reputation amongst football fans in Asia. He's got such an, that it's a really attractive personality that, makes people want to listen to him talk. He must be such an asset within the dressing room.
You'll spend 1 hour with Olo and you'll love him for the rest of your life. Um, Addictive personality that you always want to be around because he's so funny, he's so fast with responses, and he's also a really good guy as well, and an even better footballer. So when you have a guy like that in your changing room, it's hard not to do well. So yeah, I take my hat off to him because he's an incredible guy. So forget all the social media and whatever. He's a good guy first, and then obviously he has that side to him as well, which is obviously hilarious for us to come into the dressing room every morning and have banter with him.
Yeah. You've got Ola Aina on one side, right? And then you've got characters like Ryan Yates. I mean, he's been through the ups and downs with Forest. He knows exactly what it means to be in the position that Forest are in at the moment. It's such an incredible story. And from your point of view, what's it been like working with him and playing with him on the pitch? Because it's from the outside, I'm going to be real, he's such an inspirational figure.
Yeah, Ryan Yates is the complete opposite on the pitch than what he is off the pitch. I always say to people, he's one of them players that you love having on your team, but you completely hate playing against him. But then off the pitch, he's the nicest guy you will ever meet. He's so chilled, so humble, so down to earth. He's just a really lovely guy. Someone you just want to be around 24/7. And then you get him on the pitch and he's horrible, aggressive, wears his heart on his sleeve, and it just sums up the sort of guy he is, and he's the perfect leader for Nottingham Forest.
I want to take a little bit of a back seat and sort of ask you a couple more questions. I'm not sure if you're aware, but in this parts of the world, expectedly, the Premier League big clubs sort of dominate the narratives at times. But Forest have got a very unique space because of its history. A lot of people, even in these parts of the world, a lot of people are very aware of Nottingham Forest and their history and everything that they've accomplished in the past. Does it ever strike you just how historic of a football club that you're representing at the moment that has done so many things in the past, and you guys are on the verge of writing a brand new chapter in that history?
Yeah, obviously that was one of the main factors why I came to this club, because of the history of it and what it stands for, and especially how the owner wants to go ahead about his business and how he wants to go forward with the club. he really wants to be as positive as possible and trying to achieve something that, you know, he believes in. And I think we're starting to show that now. I think we're giving the fans back something they deserve after all the years of, you know, struggle and heartache. We're finally being able to give them something back, and I think that's the main thing, you know, because they're the ones that spend their hard-earned money to come and watch us. So it's only right that we give it back to them, and, you know, luckily enough this season we have. Would we have wanted better? Yeah, but it's obviously still incredible what we've achieved this season so far, but like you said, there's still 2 games left, so we're going to give it absolutely everything.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.